the name of Yeshua, the Messiah. Now, where did the idea come from that that Ham was cursed, and that curse was black skin and slavery? Well, we saw in the previous video that it didn't come from the Hebrew scriptures themselves. It did not come from Genesis chapter 9, and it did not come from any other place in the Bible, either the Hebrew scriptures or the apostolic writings, the Greek scriptures. So where did this idea come from? Well, in my investigations, the first place that I can find these kinds of ideas, that Ham was cursed with black skin and slavery, is in the Babylonian Talmud, specifically in Tractate Sanhedrin. Now, there are some people who think that I'm being anti-Semitic when I point out certain things in the Talmud and other other writings of Judaism. But if I see something in the Talmud or any other writing of Judaism that is unscriptural and wrong, I'm going to expose it. Just like I'll do so if I see something in a Christian writing, or in an Islamic writing, or in an atheistic writing, or whatever. So please don't throw that cheap anti-Semitism card at me, okay? Because it's played out and tired, and I just don't have time to humour such nonsense, alright? So, Babylonian Talmud, Tractate Sanhedrin, Folio 70a. First of all, remember in the scripture we saw that all Ham did was he saw his father's nakedness and then told his brothers. Well, let's have a look at how some of the rabbis kind of elaborated on that with some creative ways of interpreting the text. It says here, Rab and Samuel differ. One maintaining that he, that's Ham, castrated him, that's Noah, while the other says that he sexually abused him. That's interesting. I don't remember reading any of that in the text, but let's carry on. He who maintains that he castrated him reasons thus: since he cursed him by his fourth son, he must have injured him with respect to a fourth son. And the footnote helpfully explains, i.e., by emasculating him, he deprived Noah of the possibility of a fourth son. Okay. But he who says that he sexually abused him draws an analogy between he saw, written twice. Here it is written, and Ham the father of Canaan saw the nakedness of his father, while elsewhere it's written, and when Shechem the son of Hamor saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her. That's elsewhere in Genesis. Now, on the view that he emasculated him, it is right that he cursed him by his fourth son, but on the view that he abused him, why did he curse his fourth son? He should have cursed him himself. He should have cursed him himself. Both indignities were perpetrated, i.e., in actual fact, whoever's writing this reasons that Ham castrated his father and also sexually abused him. So that's the Sanhedrin 70a. And then if we look at Sanhedrin 108b, we read something else that we didn't see in the Bible text. Scroll down here, it says, our rabbis taught 3 copulated in the ark, and they were all punished: the dog, the raven, and Ham. The dog was doomed to be tied, the raven expectorates, i.e. his seed into his mate's mouth, and Ham was smitten in his skin. And then the footnote here kindly explains what that means, i.e. from him descended Cush, the Negro, who is black-skinned. So there we have the roots of this idea that Ham was cursed with black skin. These are rabbis who are writing, something like, 1,000 years, 1,500 years, maybe coming up to 2,000 years after Noah lived, and they're making up these lies concerning what happened to Ham. And this is where we get this this idea that Ham was cursed with black skin. It's not from the Bible. Now this is another important text in Judaism, which is called Genesis Rabbah. It's part of a body of text known as the Midrash and Midrashim. And this adds a little bit more to the rabbinic story. It says, the sexes of both man and the lower animals were meant to be separated in the ark during the deluge. This is clear from the way in which they entered the ark. First Noah and his 3 sons went in, and then their wives separately. But when they came out of the ark after the flood, God commanded Noah, go out of the ark, thou and thy wife, thy sons and their wives, thus putting the sexes together again. Okay. Ham, among the human beings, and the dog among the lower animals, disregarded this injunction and did not separate from the opposite sex in the ark. So what was the punishment? The dog received a certain punishment, and Ham became a black man. Oh, just as when a man has the audacity to coin the king's currency in the king's own palace, his face is blackened as a punishment and his issue is declared counterfeit. That's Genesis Rabbah 37. Now, building on what we read in the Babylonian Talmud concerning this, it says here that Ham became a black man. Now, if I'm misinterpreting these texts, by all means, please someone explain to me how I'm misinterpreting them. But it seems to me plain that these rabbinic texts, the Babylonian Talmud Tractate Sanhedrin and Genesis Rabbah, are the root of the idea that Ham was cursed with black skin. Now, basically what happened down through the ages was that the Christians took on these myths and perpetuated these myths, especially during the era of slavery, i.e. from the 17th century to the 19th century, and even into the 20th century actually. Preachers, pastors, they all taught, well not all of them, but quite a lot of them taught from the pulpit that it's okay to enslave Africans because Africans are the descendants of Ham, and Ham was cursed with black skin and he was cursed to be a slave. So as we see, the curse of Ham does not come from the Holy Scriptures. And this accusation made against the Holy Scriptures that it is the origin of the curse of Ham is simply not true. Now what I'd like to do is, over the next few weeks and months, Yah willing, what I'd like to do is to produce some videos really showing that far from being a racist book, the Holy Scriptures are actually filled with Africa and Africans from the beginning of Genesis right the way through into the so-called New Testament. And we'll see over the course of these videos what an important role that Africa and Africans play in the Holy Scriptures. So I hope these videos will be useful. I hope really that I'll be able to defend the Holy Scriptures against the accusation of being racist, and also I hope that I'll be able to speak in particular to so-called black people. I hope that I'll be able to speak to you and in particular to just encourage you to read the Scriptures for yourself. Don't just go by what other people tell you. Read the Scriptures for yourself and find out that the Scriptures give us the truth concerning our people, and give us the truth concerning history, and also concerning the things that are going to come to pass in future, i.e. concerning prophecy as it relates to so-called black people.